So Like a Dragon Ishin has been released for people that pre-ordered the game, and I'm finally happy to have this game in my hands without having to use a camera translator to know what's going on. For those that don't know, this is a remake of the Japanese exclusive Yakuza Ishin, which came out 9 years before. I was curious to see how they would translate the game to English, since apparently the original was hard to understand even for some native Japanese speakers, because of the older language and historic references, to better reflect the era that the game was set in, which is 1800s Japan. While there isn't an English dub, I believe that the translation team have done a great job, since I didn't have too much trouble understanding anything, especially because of the glossaries given that even explain some of the words that they're using. This game is good, and I'm having a lot of fun with it, but that being said, I can see some of the game's shortcomings, and I want to discuss them for a little bit. Also, for this video, I'll only be using footage from the first chapter and the demo, so there won't be any spoilers. Starting off with the hottest topic, the card system. LAD Ishin has added trooper cards, a collectible that will give you special boosts in stats, or even unlock new heat moves. The concepts of these cards were disliked for two reasons, with the first one being is that it would take you out of the immersion of the game. I like to say that these cards are completely optional and aren't needed to beat the game at all. The same complaint was made for the numerical damage display, which is also optional and can be disabled in the settings. The second complaint I've heard about these cards is regarding the celebrities added to the game thanks to these trooper cards. I've seen a lot of hardcore fans of the game get angry or sad about this, with them often saying that prominent members of the Yakuza games community should be getting the spotlight instead. These trooper cards are used for marketing, and for this game to reach a wider audience. The only reason this game has been ported and translated is because of the hardcore fans. But it does make sense that RGG Studios want to reach an audience wider than that, which is why they've added celebrities whose fans may have not heard of the franchise before. While the story of the game hasn't changed, they have swapped out some of the more important characters for community favorites. While I think it is a shame to see characters like Baba and Hamazaki get replaced, the new actors fit these roles quite well for the most part, except Jungi-han. Now, the elephant in the room, the performance. At least on PC, it can be quite poor. When loading new areas or cutscenes, I had the pleasure of running into multiple stutters, and I haven't been the only one. Thankfully, these stutters only seem to happen once. If the same cutscene plays, or if I visit the same area again, these stutters do not happen. I have a theory behind why this is happening. For those unaware, LAD Ishin is the first game in the series to use Unreal Engine 4, with RGG Studios moving away from their own Dragon engine, at least for this game. One of the biggest problems behind Unreal Engine games are the shader compilers, and this game is no stranger to it. Developers would usually fix this by preloading the shaders upon launching the game for the first time, which does save the performance quite a bit. It's a shame that RGG haven't added this for the pre-orders, but I do hope that with time, the developers will release a patch for this, especially because this seems like an easy enough fix. I've also heard that downgrading from DirectX 12 to DirectX 11 helps with this as well, although I haven't had any luck with that personally. From my limited experience of the first game, this remake seems to be quite faithful to the original, while still adding small changes to spice up the story and gameplay. Overall, I think the game is great and is worth it if you're a diehard Yakuza fan. But there are other games I would recommend to newcomers of the series. The constant stuttering of the game makes it hard to suggest this game to new players. Oh, and they also censored Ryuji's ass.